Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here, and today is Casing Tuesday. And if you don't know what that means, it means we take a card out of the catalog and we give it a makeover. That's what CASE stands for. It's an acronym. It's copy and share everything. So we've taken that concept and we've done it for our catalog. And so we have a card that we choose each week. And we is a group of us that have banded together to do this regularly every week. And you can join us. We have a Facebook group where you can join us. It's just look for Casing Tuesday on Facebook, or down below. Down below, I have a plethora of information for you. So as I'm talking, if you are looking for a supply, if you're looking for my Stampin Blends chart that I just updated, if you're looking for my blog, if you just almost everything's down there. So look below and just keep in mind, sometimes you'll only see the first little snippet of my description. You'll need to click on see more or continue, whatever it is, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube watching this. Just look, expand that section and look, because normally I have a lot of information in that. So if you're looking for our Facebook group, please click below and check it out. So today's card is a beautiful card, but it's got a lot of layers. So I had to simplify it a little bit. So let me show it to you. And that's totally allowed. The card that we start with is just a starting point. So you don't have to follow the card exactly. So look at this beautiful card. It's got some really nice elements on it. But personally, it's got I think I deleted one layer and I layered up slightly differently. So my card looks a little less busy. Still a beautiful card. If you want to make the card just like the original, we've created a sketch for you. And you can use this sketch to create your card. It's just a nice way to kind of have a starting point for your card so that you can understand where all the layers are and just start working. I usually start to work with my main layer, that front layer, and I decide what I'm going to put there, and then I start wrapping the rest of my card around that. Usually after I've decided on my main image that I'm going to use, I look for, is there any paper that matches that? And then I kind of blend all of that in. Good morning, all of you who have joined me this morning. I'm glad you're here. I'm going to talk to you all at the end, so stick around for that. So let me I'm just going to mention that I do have a host code going this month. Here it is. And if you spend $50 with me using this host code, when you check out, you will get a package of these tinsel gems. They're very cute and sparkly to put on your project. So let me just get rid of those. All right, I think we're ready to get started. I'm going to switch my camera to my down-facing camera so that you can see my hands and see what I am doing. All right. Oh, let's look at my card first. This is the card I made. It's a little less busy, and I decided that I wanted this. There's a hair on my card. Okay, that needs to go away. Okay, so I decided that this layer, I just wanted to center it. So you can totally do that. My banner layers are a little skinnier, so it's just kind of fun how you can play with that sketch. You can probably still see, maybe at the end, if I remember, I'll hold the two cards side by side so that you can see, what the difference is and see how they're still similar but different. I used the Zany Zoo bundle. This is a new product in the catalog. I actually didn't use the dies this time, but I do mention, I do want to talk about the bundle because you'll want to get them together at the same time because you can save 10%. Now, if you only think you're going to use the stamp set, I also left just the code for the stamp set below. But if you want to use these, the nice thing about our dies is they always contain some extras now that aren't just like the cutouts for the die cut shape. We've got some balloons, we've got a cloud, we've got some flowers, we've got a tree, actually 2 trees. We've got, this is like a curtain that you can use if you cut both sides, and a little scalloped edge. So there's a lot of dies in here. And so usually most of the time I do get the bundle versus just getting a stamp set if there is a die to match. All right, so then there's also for this outer piece right here, this is the Radiating Stitches dies. This is an online exclusive. It's not in a catalog, right? I've got my little yellow dot for online exclusives. So you can purchase this right from the online store. And it's got this nice little, you can see the little stitching. It just adds a little bit of character to the card without work. Very much work. All right, let me pop these away. I'm going to show you how I made this card. So I do have to do some die cutting. So why don't I do that first? I want to grab this color that I'm using is Petal Pink. And I need to cut this Radiating Stitches dies. That's the only die cutting I'm doing on this card. So I will grab my big machine, since this will not fit through my mini machine. And just as a reminder, I'm using base platform number 1, thin die adapter number 2, a clear cutting plate on the bottom, which is number 3. I'm going to grab my cardstock. This is just a piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I like to put it on an angle if it's got a straight edge to go through. And then I'll grab the correct die, place it cut side down onto my cardstock. And you notice I did put it on an angle. When you go through like this is a roller, so it's harder to have a roller go through like that. But if you have it come through and that corner comes through first, it's much smoother transition through your die cut machine. So if you have the room, and if you're just cutting a piece rather than a window out of a piece of card base, then this is the way to go. So I'll put a second cutting plate on top, number 3, and then we're just going to run this through. All the way. And there is the piece, all done with one little roll. Just very easy. Okay. So we also have a card base here, and this is Petal Pink. This piece measures 11 inches by 4 1/4, and I scored in half at the 5 1/2 inch mark. And then I'm going to take this and just add glue to the back. And pop this down. Press this down. Okay, we are building our card. So the Zany Zoo bundle comes with matching paper. I'm going to go grab it real quick. So on one side of this paper, you'll find a whole bunch of Zany Zoo characters. Pull this out a bit. And then on the back side, you're going to have these neutral black and white patterns. I've kind of got some of these cut up already, so just let me flip through so you can see. This one's the same. Got that one, that one. You get 2 of each, and then this one. This one's cute. It's got some camping, outdoorsy sort of scenes. So you can go ahead. Some of them will cut out with the dies, and some of them are just extra characters that you can use to just freehand cut. I'm using the back side of this paper because I want to create these little banners to go back there. I'm going to use the banners Pick-a-Punch. This is why I reduced my banner size to 1 inch, because I like the easy button. So I'll just slide this into the 1 inch slot and give it a little punch. Oh, and how big these are? These are 5.5 by 1 inch. And I just, you know, this is also a good thing to do with, we always tend to have little pieces of cardstock or paper left over. And so this is a good thing to do with some of those leftover pieces that may not fit on a card. So then you just want to arrange this on here. They should fit. If you want them a little bit shorter, just start off a little bit shorter, like maybe 5 1/4 or 5. That should still give you enough room so it peeks out. I did mine at 5.5 by 1, so it just shortened it just a tiny little bit. So first of all, you kind of want to arrange your 2 pieces. How do you want them to cross over? So you just want to kind of get them situated so you've got good angles. Okay, I like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pin this down and put a little tombow in the center right here and press it down. That way it's going to stay exactly where I want it. Okay, now I've got both of these together, and now I can put some tombow in the center right here. There's a helicopter flying very close to my house right now. I don't think you can hear it, but we are close to 2 highways right now. And sometimes when there's an accident, they fly overhead and check out the accident scene. So I usually don't like the sound of helicopters hovering close by because it makes me feel like, oh no, something bad happened. All right, okay. So I've got this situated, and now let's work on the main part of our card. That's the backdrop. So let's start with making stamping the little raccoon, and I'll show you how I colored him. Ooh, and I'll get to show you my new labels, and for my Stampin' Blends, I'll show you that. So I don't like to put the stickers on my stamps. I'm a weirdo, but you can put them on or not. I just kind of know where I want this stamped. So let me just kind of, think right about here. All right. So I just stamped this in tuxedo black on basic white. Let me tell you what the measurements are. Grab my ruler real quick. I also put my measurements right on my blog post so you can see them on there. This is 2.5 by 3 7/8. All right, let's go ahead and stamp this little greeting while it's out. I'll tell you what the dimensions of that are in just a second. Let's see, there's a little bit more on the bottom, so okay. So this little greeting is right in that stamp set. You don't need a separate stamp set. It says something great to celebrate you. This little piece I think was 2 1/4 by 5/8 of an inch. Okay, so I can just set that little piece aside for now. Let's close up my Memento Tuxedo Black ink pad. This is a good standard black ink pad. And let's bring in some Stampin' Blends and let's color this guy. Ooh, before we do, let me just show you down below, and actually it's probably right near the bottom of my description of my video. I have posted a couple of things for you to help you with our Stampin' Blends and our updated colors. The first thing is the Stampin' Blends Color Chart. This will be a blank chart for you. And as you get different colors of Stampin' Blends, you can print this out and you can color in little swatches for yourself so you can see actual colors. And I've labeled them with the item number and light, dark, and you can go ahead and fill this all out. It is so helpful. I've got all the natural tones down here, bronze and ivory. And so it's just really helpful when you're coloring. You can see all the different colors there are. That's one thing. And then I also updated my Stampin' Blends Labels Chart. And I actually haven't labeled some of my blends yet because I wanted to show you how I do that. Let's see what color I'm using that we can. I'm using Lemon Lolly. So here's what I would do. I printed this out on just basic white or smooth. Let me locate the name Lemon Lolly. Okay, so see there's Lemon Lolly on here, light and dark. So what I want to do is I want to get this on here. I'm just going to make sure that this is kind of in between the two labels, and I'm going to cut. Okay, so you want to cut this apart into little strips, and I keep this in a page protector. Say you don't have all of the blends yet, then you can just tuck this behind and then just punch out what you need on the go. And or if you have all of them, sometimes you might have your old colors, so you've printed this out and so you have extra labels, so just stick them in that back of the page protector. Coming over, need to grab, this is a 3/8 inch circle punch. Stampin' Up! Does not sell this, but I left you a link where you can find this on Amazon because you'll need this for your labels. So let me see where Lemon Lolly is. Okay, it's right here. So this is a 3/8 inch circle punch and this should fit. So I'm just gonna punch out, just center it on there and just punch out a little circle. I'll do both of them. And if you want to, you could, let's see, I've got two labels on one page, so I managed to squeeze. So if you want to label both of your caps on both sides, I actually just label one side, but there's enough labels here that you have enough to do both. So that's kind of handy. And I did it all, I think all of it's in the same font size. So that's nice too. It's all the same font. And I'm just gonna grab my mini glue dots and I'm gonna grab, this is dark Lemon Lolly. So I'll grab my little dark label. I'm gonna pop it on here. And I just bought a new holder for my blends. So I'm just gonna pop that on there. And see how nice that is, the dark Lemon Lolly. And let me grab my light. I'm going to do that right away as well. You buy them in pairs and just stick that right on a mini glue dot. Pop that off, and these stick really well. They stay on really nicely. Oh, I want to put it like this, like that. The other thing that you can do if you would prefer not to stick on with mini glue dots, you can also print these off on a full-size Avery label sticker sheet that has no cut lines, and then you can stick them right directly onto your cap. I really like this method with the mini glue dot. I think it works really, really well. So I just prefer to print mine off on basic white, punch with the little 3/8 inch circle punch, and then adhere with a little mini glue dot. Don't those look nice? So I'm going to gradually do all of mine. I want to do a few on camera so you can see how that goes, but I hope that will be a great resource for you to make your blends more useful. Okay, so let's go ahead and color this guy. A lot of talk. I've got my light smoky slate here. And I'm going to color, I think this is a raccoon. So I thought, okay, you can make your raccoon whatever color you want. And, you know, I always start out and I think, oh yeah, I need to color my animals exactly the color they are supposed to be in nature, but you know what? You can have a lot of fun with this and not do that. But I did go with traditional colors this time because I do have that pop of color with the balloons. So I thought the raccoon will be neutral and the balloons will bring in the color. It's good sometimes not to follow all the rules. So maybe I could have used the brush tip. It would have gone a little faster. Okay, so that's Smoky Slate Light. And now I'm taking basic black light and I'm going to do the mask. Now I have to be a little careful going around the eyes. I don't want to obscure the eyes. You want to be able to see the whites of the eyes of the raccoon. Okay. And then we'll do the balloons. And we'll start off with our lemon lolly. What I like to do with the balloon, there are some dark spaces that's like a shadow. And so I like to put a little bit of a white space right next to that shadow. So I intentionally leave a little bit with a white space. So that would be where, you know, on the front of a balloon, like the light is just gonna hit it right on that curve. That's where I put the light spot. So basically this is Calypso Coral Light, and this Calypso Coral, all my caps open easily except for this one. So again, I'm doing the same thing right next to my shaded spot. I'm just gonna put just a little, I'm gonna leave a space. Okay, I'm gonna come in with Lemon Lime Twist, do the same thing. Just always leaving a little bit of white. And finally, Lost Lagoon. Lost Lagoon is another new color. Lemon Lime Twist is a returning color. We're using, Lost Lagoon is a returning color. Lemon Lolly is completely new. So the other thing you can do after, you can see those little white spaces on there? Afterwards, I can go in and just darken the bottom of the balloon just a little bit. Go back, use the same color. Just make it a little darker near the bottom. Go over those dark spaces again. Just deepen the shading down at the bottom. It just makes sense because that's where the balloon will be the darkest, where the light isn't hitting it. And just add that a little bit. Blends are so fun because you don't see the little marks when you lift up like you do with a typical marker. So there you go. Very simply colored raccoon. Anyone can do this because I can. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. All right, and if yours doesn't turn out quite like mine, you wanted it to look like mine, just practice. You know, I'm not any perfectionist or anything like that. You just like stamp yourself a couple and just practice doing this. It's very, very easy. You can be an artist and make beautiful art without having all of the skill level, because Stampin' Up! Provides you with the artwork and then the easy coloring tools. So I'm just going to layer this on a piece of Lost Lagoon cardstock. Let me tell you the measurements for that. This is 2 3/4 by 4 1/8. I'll come over here and add this to the card now. And I'll just stick this on top. I'm just centering this in between those radiating stitches from that die. Okay, it's coming together. You can see the two cards side by side. Then I'm going to take my little greeting and just add it down there. Just want it, you know, so you can kind of see some of those stitches sticking out. That looks nice. And now just adding some of these gems. And I thought these colors worked really well for this particular card. So I am just going to grab one of these bigger light color gems. I'm going to follow my same pattern because once I choose a pattern that I like it. I don't want to change it. There. Some cute cards, and I've already told you earlier this month I have a lot of May birthdays, so it just makes sense that I am making a lot of birthday cards this month because I need to send out a bunch of birthday cards. And look, they're so cute. So cute, right? And I love that I had the layout already mapped out for me. So this card didn't take that long to make. You know, even the design part, once I chose my image, I just kind of, you know, popped my greeting in the greeting space, made some banners. You know, it was just very, very easy to do that. All right, let me come back over to you guys. I said I was going to show you like the difference between the two cards. Let me pop up this card. Let me move this off a little bit. Okay, so there's the card. And now I'm going to hold this up and bring it in and over. I'm mirroring. So, okay, let's see. Turn it like this. Okay, so I hope you can see the two cards and see how I simplified a little bit. I took one of those layers out. And you can still see that the card, has its original bones, but it's different, right? They also use the radiating stitches dies, and I'm sitting here and I'm not moving, but yet my card is moving. So that's how it worked out, and you can just go to town. There's so many different ways you can make up this card. So I challenge you to do that. Go ahead and make a card today and post it on our Casing Tuesday Facebook group. Very easy to do if you have a camera phone. All right, let me just remind you, I do have a host code going this month. If you spend $50 with me, you will get these beautiful tinsel gems. So if you like my business page, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're on YouTube, give me a thumbs up too, and subscribe to my channel so that other people can find me. I would really appreciate that. All right, let's say hello to some of our guests today that have joined me. And thank you so much for joining me. It makes doing this a whole lot more fun to know that I have a live audience. Good morning, Nancy from Georgia. Oh, you have clouds. We have a little bit of sun today, but I don't know how long it's going to last. I hope it lasts a little longer. Good morning, Marty. Good morning, Deborah from sunny Virginia. I'm glad you have sunshine. Dee says good morning from Kansas City. Janine's here from Northwest Indiana. So nice. Oh, and Bev, you're here this morning. It's so nice to see you on one of my lives. I miss you. And she says, thanks so much for the labels. Well, you're welcome. And you can find those on my blog. You can also find them down below in the description of this video. But I just want to point out, if you're ever looking for them again, like you're like, oh, I don't need those right now, but I'll get them later. And then you can't find this post anymore or this project anymore. Don't worry. They are going to live on the resources section of my blog. So just go to cubiesquest.com, and I just have my join page, but here, this is my, if you just do cubiesquest.com without the join, then you can get to my blog, and then just the item is resources. And then there are two items. Right now I just have the two. I have this chart right here, and I have these labels over here. So very easy to label your blends. And if you have them, I have mine in a holder from Stampin' Storage, and it's just very easy to look at them because some of the colors are similar. I'm just trying to, like the caps are similar. I'm just gonna pull this. I just want to show you there's just a very subtle difference between my Poppy Parade and Sweet Sorbet. Okay, so sometimes there is a difference in the caps. The colors that the ink, the alcohol ink inside of here will look different, but the lids, they look very similar, and so you have to remember which side did I put those ones on, but no longer, because you have labels, and that way you can just visually quickly do that. I chose a font for my labels so that I could make all of the labels the same size. That was, I don't know, really important to me visually. So I know there's other Stampin' Blends labels out there. I made these ones specifically because I like things a certain way. And I have a weird obsession with tables. I really like to create tables on Microsoft Word. I don't know. I could spend hours formatting a table. I shouldn't spend 4 hours, but I just like minutes. Like I like, oh, okay, and then I'll make this exactly the way I want, and then I'll shade this, and I merge these cells, and I don't know. I have I'm strange because I don't think too many people like to do that. Maybe some people do, but I really like to do those little tables, and so I made that, and it's just like a wonderful thing. Okay, let me say hello some more. Janine says cute card, and Marty says it's so cute, and Dee says a very sweet card. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining me this morning. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I am trying to do my best to be present and in my stamping life and business. I just want to let everyone know, I think you probably know if you've been watching my videos, we bought a house, and I thought I was busy before, but now I've reached a whole new level of busy and crazy. And so bear with me over the next few months. I'm going to try and balance making cute projects for you with getting things like movers booked, utilities changed over. There's a few things we need to do to the house before we move in. And it's a lot. It's a lot. So I just wanted to let you know that I'll do my best. Send me an email if you're missing something. I have not sent out Saturday's project sheet yet. This is the latest I've ever done that. It's actually almost ready. I'm going to do that today. Actually, I'm going to do that right now and get that sent out. And I apologize that it wasn't done on the usual day. It's just, I'm getting, I have movers coming to give me quotes. So like I've been like, kind of trying to consolidate things so they can see how much stuff I have. And I also have our landlords are getting ready to lease out our place again, so we want to be helpful to them. And so I'm also decluttering, trying to make this place, like when you live in a place and you kind of have stuff lying around that you don't have lying around when you have guests coming over or when you're showing a place. So I'm doing that as well. And my room right here is like, it's like a mess. Like it looks really good from my shoulders up. It looks like I've got it all together, but back here there's a lot of clutter. So one of the things that I'm going to be doing before we move is I'm going to be decluttering. I've been, I have someone where I give away stuff to. I'm packing stuff away for, BOGO sales and everything like that. So I've just got a lot of, clutter, like, oh, I'll take care of that later. Well, later never gets here. And so it's a nice time for me to do things over again. So now it's like a fresh start for everything. And I really love that. I'm looking forward to being in our new house, our new home, but there's going to be, it's going to be a little time before I get things together. My goal is once September hits, that I'll be back to my normal self. I know that sounds like a long time away. Maybe I'll get there before then, but I'm just trying to like aim for that because I figure that's good. Like I figure we're going to move in June. There's going to be some things with the house I'm going to need to take care of that are going to take my time. You know, have you ever like moved to a new place, and to make the new place work, you need to get a few things. Like when we moved here, for instance, we needed a different garbage can, you know, because our old garbage can just wouldn't work in the space. So like you need to get things like that to make your house flow normally, because there's different spaces in the house. Sometimes there's more space in one area and less space in another. So you just need to like do that. And that's what I'm going to be taking care of when I move. So anyway, that's a long speech. Let me see. Dee said she's impressed with using word tables. I've tried several times and I just don't get it done right. You know, Microsoft Word, at first I struggled with it, but there are like a lot of little things that you can do to go in and just like have fun with tables, like table widths, table rows. You can make them all specific sizes, even down to a decimal point. You can shade in like whatever color you want. They give you a lot of different shades to shade things. Like for here, like, oh, let me get rid of some of this gobbledygook. See, this is, I love talking about mood tables. I love creating things, right? Like anything that has like, ooh, let me give you a dimension or whatever, that makes me, lights me up. So you see where there's, over here, where I have lemon lolly. You know, there are different columns in that, but I merged that row together because it would have been two different spaces. I merged that together, and then I shaded that whole row, you know, just to make it look nice. I did this natural tones down here a little differently because they kind of were they came out at a different time, and these are not colors in our core collection, so I just pulled those out. And I also did bronze and ivory, even though they are part of the original collection. I pulled them out mainly because I ran out of rows. Oh, and I should be able to shade my basic black. When I went to do basic black, it was dry. So I don't use basic black a whole lot, but I used it today. I used the light today, so I need to go back in and shade those because yeah. So I finally have my whole collection. It's really nice to see all the different colors, but yeah, I don't know. There's there's a lot of options, and once you understand how they work, it's brilliant. That's so much fun for me. My mind works in mysterious ways, right? All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a good week. Join me on Friday, where I'm going to do, I think I'm doing a 3D this week, and I hope you will join me for that. So have a great week until then. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.